I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant, slay the competition cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
no, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh my
lovely.
God.
I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
No, I know.
That last one always gets me.
Every time.
The whole thing is that doesn't she realize there's always a return address on letters?
You don't have to put a return address on letters.
Really?
That's true. What about
Nope.
that? I mean, I feel like in a
Jeez, I
communist
wish I knew that.
we would.
Yeah, you don't have to put a return address on letters. That just means if it gets not to its destination, that it'll go into the lost mail section of the post office, probably never to be seen again.
Well, there you go.
Learn something new every Thursday.
Look, I try.
Every time Beth's on, we always learn something cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Corner Booth pregame. It's officially Independence Day weekend as of right now. I'm starting it as my chains are tangled up. Fucking shit. My OCD is going crazy. Also, cigars for Caesar. Shout out to our boy. Crazy day in sports. You know, usually around this time, me and the Corner Booth crew usually take a holiday. This is Matt's first year here, so he's new to this whole thing. But usually, me and Kevin or me and somebody else and me and JD would take a holiday. We'd kind of relax. We'd play a repeat episode, whatever. Yeah, no. I woke up this morning to 3 headlines, and then as I was splitting wood with my uncle today, more headlines. And then I get to the gym and almost blow my knee out, more headlines. So, with all that in mind, we're going to start for the first one. Prayers to our boy Maserati, Mr. Nunez. He's the one who does our intro song, diehard Nets fan. What the shit just happened in Brooklyn? We went from Kevin Durant and Kyrie both saying, like, they're looking like it's going to be okay to, oh, no, they're leaving and they're not. They're stuck with Ben Simmons and no draft picks. This is, like, even worse than what happened after they got rid of Garnett and Jason Terry and Paul Pierce. Like, I'm, like, a little, like, I'm praying for them now.
T's and P's, everybody. T's and P's.
It's, you know, it's very unfortunate because when they had Harden after they had, you know, Durant and Kyrie, I was like, the big three is in New York. The Brooklyn's going to the finals. They're going to win I was counting how many rings they were going to get. We never really got to see that with all these injuries, and now you've got Harden wants out, KD wants to stay, but he wants Kyrie to stay, and I think just the Nets not committing on a max deal just kind of threw him off, and I think that maybe just rubbed Kevin Durant the wrong way. But at the end of the day, this is a players' league. This is a league run by the players, and you have to keep the players happy. You may not like it, you may not agree with it, but that's the only way you're keeping players nowadays.
Well, and honestly, this is what happens when you sell out your future for a player.
Yeah. They're already talking about like 5, 6, 7 first-round picks or whatever.
I mean,
we can't leverage your entire
key to the franchise.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not. We can't do that. Fuck. Damn it, we're screwed.
No. Look,
even if he's got a better arm than the Minnesota. Like, you see that video of him throwing a football today? He's got a better arm than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, is Anthony Edwards?
Yeah. Absolute freaking hose. Yeah. I'm like,
Tom Brady was like, you're in the wrong sport.
I'm like, damn, Minnesota's got the wrong athlete playing quarterback.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's scar my foot.
Bro.
Yeah,
come on, that's a Fuente, bro.
Mm-hmm. It's okay, just knock the ash off. I'm just gonna have to sweep that up.
So I guess now it's what are they gonna get for KD?
It's Arturo Fuente. It is the which edition is this one? This is a good one. Oh, Grand Reserva. Jesus Christ, I want to look for today.
I guess now it's like, what are you gonna get for KD? Like, what's his package gonna be like?
I don't know, because also, where is his landing spots? Because you know he's going to have requirements, obviously.
Well, apparently one of them is on the top of his list is Phoenix.
Yeah, the West is fucked. Because the one thing they didn't have last year is somebody to go off if Devin Booker's struggling.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Think about it. Somebody on the radio was talking about, they're like, realistically, if like the Knicks called, they probably would want like Quickly, Barrett, and they probably would want like 4 plus 5, 6 first round picks.
They would only get one of them. They wouldn't get both. Because the Knicks for once in their lives, their GM's not a complete moron. So like, and they, it's so funny, right? The Knicks were so close with Julius Randle the year they got like hosed by Trae Young. Getting KD would be great if they could keep Randle and possibly what's his face and keep Barrett. I mean, the problem is Barrett and KD are the same player type. I don't. It's odd. This whole thing's. It's news to me because I was trying to think about where he would go, and the fact one thing I love about Kevin Durant is he'll never go play with LeBron, and that makes me so happy. I'll never have to worry about it. That's one reason I always love Kevin Durant is because he fucking is like me. Listen, I have all the respect due for LeBron as a player. I watched in replay because I guess Richard Jefferson put up on his TikTok his whole like finals comeback, 3-1 comeback against the Warriors, where I was a LeBron fan for about maybe a week. And I'm like, this guy is literally giving me hope for humanity because fuck Curry, fuck Draymond, and fuck Clay. I dislike the Warriors a lot. Like a lot. Like they're the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA to me, except they actually win. And so like there's very like in every sport I have a team I hate, right? Baseball is the LA Dodgers. Football is the Dallas Cowboys and New Orleans Saints. College sports, it's Florida State and Duke. Hockey, New York Rangers. Yeah, I'm forgetting this. Yeah, but basketball, I never had a sport. I never had a team I hated. It's like I loved half the teams in my Timberwolves division. I didn't give a shit. Loved the Lakers. Didn't really mind the Celtics.
If we
It's
talk
like
about MMA, it's Dan.
I love the Lakers pre. Well, yeah, Matt knows my favorite MMA fighter. I hate everybody in the MMA.
If it's not John Jones, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't
Hate
give
you all of
like,
you.
Fuck you. Cocaine or no deal. Hit and runs or no buns.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Apparently, Dana White's committed to giving him another fight. He's like, it's up to.
Because Dana White's not an idiot. Dana White's one of the best businessmen in the history of American sports.
He
He's
pretty
probably a
much
better
was.
businessman than Vince McMahon is because at least he knows how to keep hands to himself.
Yeah. That we
Ayo.
know of. That we know
Too soon.
Heyo.
He still makes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but he still makes appearances on wrestling.
Oh, I know.
Man.
Uh-huh.
Like
a person who will no longer be referred to by name, who's a big wrestling fan who used to help me with the show, brought this up to me on last episode, and I was like, "Holy smokes! Like that is incredible!" Like the fact that this dude had the balls to go on air and talk about this shit after he literally just settled for more money than I think he would have gotten if he kept a certain superstar. I don't know. It was a whole thing. I was like, "That's nuts."
But we talk about Vince McMahon, right?
Yes.
But the thing with that is when he came out after he said he was like stepping down from his role, he was out on SmackDown for a good maybe 2 minutes. And he literally looked at the crowd, did not talk about the subject once, and said, WWE, it's what it says is what it means then, now, and forever. And then he choked up and threw the mic, and that was the Vince McMahon send off. Like that was just like a classic Vince McMahon goodbye kind of thing. And I was mad because the way they did it, it made you almost like sympathize and be like empathetic to him. Like, oh my God, I'm so upset because like this guy is leaving. But then I'm like, no, like think about what he did. I'm like, they're fucking trying to like mess with your mind and make you like feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, I will never have sympathy for that man.
No.
He could cry in front of me, and that would be like the one time a dude would cry in front of me, and I wouldn't cry back.
I want to think if there's
and that's rare for me.
The only person I've ever had I've gained sympathy for after they've done their issues because this one actually went to jail. He did play for my favorite team, so I had to kind of give him a little sympathy because I had to root for him. And I loved him before he went to jail, and I really had to work on not hating this motherfucker. But it was Michael Vick. The worst part is everyone hate on Michael Vick is crazy because listen, I get it. He did horrible things to dogs, but he also took the rap for everyone else in his circle because he was the one who funded the whole damn thing. And he went to jail. He did his time, and he became a ASPCA advocate. As much as that's oh great, congratulations. It's What do you want to do more to do? He did the maximum sentence for it.
Yeah.
He got a shot because he had a cannon arm and he could run still a 4.4 at 30 years old. And he's honestly been a model citizen since then. It's like, fuck, you don't have to like the guy, but shit, he did his time. He's making his money back.
The biggest struggle I have with that is I lived in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area when all that was going down. I know people who adopted dogs that were involved in that situation, and they're nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I will never get on somebody for not forgiving me. That is one thing. Like somebody's like, if you don't like this one girl I was talking to on Hinge, and we were talking sports, and she was like, "Oh, you're an Eagles fan? Is that Michael Vick?" I'm like, "No, it's Brian Dawkins." We were talking about our favorite athletes, and I said, Brian Dawkins is the only athlete I consider a personal hero. I guess Pat McAfee, that's more for his broadcasting career than anything else. But like, I'm like, when we talked about Michael Vick, and I'm like, listen, like, as much as he did an absolutely egregiously horrible thing, he did the full sentence. He has a right to live his life afterward. And if NFL teams still want to pay him, they can go pay him. He wasn't even supposed to play in the league past a year. The Eagles were supposed to just cut him after the year. They needed a backup. Dude comes in when McNabb gets hurt, throws a couple touchdowns, and they're like, oh, we may have found a solution. Extends his career 5 years.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a second chance. Like, he did his time. He paid his debt to society. He's done all the good things afterwards. But me personally, zero forgiveness. Like, I have 2 rescue pit bulls.
No judgment.
You can see a tail behind me. Like, I have 2 rescue pit bulls. I have no.
Listen, I know, and I know Matt has 2 pit bulls at home as well, and I love the pit bull breed itself. I know it's horrible that these dogs, in a lot of scenarios, are used for fighting in these rings. It's fucking bullshit. But at the same time, I will never judge somebody for hating Vic still.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever gotten on somebody is when they like a little bit of a race thing came into. I was like, y'all got to be kidding me.
No.
Somebody may not said something a little racial to me about it once. I'm like, all right, I get the hate because of the dog thing, but now y'all sound real racist.
Yeah.
Now y'all getting real racist, and we don't accept that around here.
Listen, if it was a white boy, would you be hating on this much? Come on.
That seems to be the question.
Anytime
it's not a white boy.
Yeah. It's kind of a good thing that this girl never found out that I stopped talking to this girl, because I was literally texting her that while I was looking at my pair of Michael Vick 3s on my shelf. And I'm like, the fact that I have a Michael Vick Eagles t-shirt in my closet, like.
You should have kept talking to her and gone on a first date and warned him.
Oh my God, shut up with both of them on just to see what she'd say. Just get absolutely freaking roadhouse to the face. Yeah, no, I'm good. But yeah, no. Back to the Brooklyn Nets. We get way off topic here. You know what's crazy about all this shit, right? About all of this, like the Warriors and the season ended so weird, right? Like the Golden State Warriors weren't even supposed to be in the finals, and they just got there, and then they just kicked the shit out of who the fuck they play again? Oh, Boston.
The
I
Celtics.
completely forgot. Their performance is so forgettable. I forgot. So that should tell you everything you need to know about the Boston Celtics. Is their performance was so bad, I forgot about it in less than a month. Boston, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, that's fucking terrible.
I feel like that is a blanket just Boston statement, though. Like, that doesn't just apply to baseball.
Well,
Boston.
The Bruins were fucking cheeks in the playoffs anyway, so.
And then the fans tried to kill the poor penalty box attendant. Like, that poor man.
Fucking Boston, come on.
That poor man.
I'm not a fan of Boston sports as a whole. I don't mind Boston sports fans. I just hate when they get fucking ballistic over shit. I'm like, guys, it's not worth it. Like, relax. I get sports or everything. Like, the funniest thing I saw today, Matt, and you'll love this, is that the Red Sox have been on this ridiculously like hot streak, right? I think they've won like 15 out of the last 18. Yeah, they've gained half a game on the Yankees. That is fucking hysterical.
Oh yeah,
it is.
That's great.
It is the most Boston thing I've ever seen.
Accomplished. They finally got up over the Orioles in the standings.
Yeah, right. They finally have a better record than the Arizona Diamondbacks, which I find. Yeah. I had this running bet with my buddies at Red Sox, and he doesn't listen to the show. But I said, listen, the Diamondbacks are going to have a better record than the Red Sox till at least June before they get their shit together. And I was right. So now if my Diamondbacks get their shit together, it'd be great. We lost 2 games to the fucking Tigers. Oh my gosh. It's been a rough June for Diamondbacks fans. Also, I'm trying to see if fucking Mookie's alive, because I'm like, hey, you alive? Nope. No response. He's probably drunk and passed out already. I also invited Kevin to like, hey, you want to dance in the Nets grave? Be my guest.
Yeah,
Also,
no Kevin.
Back to that quick. So you got Kyrie picked up his player option. Now KD wants a trade. So is Kyrie locked in for like this season?
I don't know, but now Kyrie's talking about backing out of his player option now.
Well, obviously, because I think
that was the newest thing I saw this before I got on, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, they really are fucked. If the Kyrie can actually legally get out of his player option now, that it's really fucked.
I mean, the thing is, did he actually like sign anything yet?
No, I think he announced that he was just picking it up. I don't think they made it official.
So if nothing's in writing, you're not legally bound.
So I assume if he just doesn't sign it, he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah. So I look at the standpoint of this is basically like, okay, well, now if you're Brooklyn, now you're stuck with Ben Simmons. You're going to get a lot of young players around Ben. You know, it'd be funny as fuck if Ben Simmons ends up being having an all-star season because they just put a bunch of shooters around him and all he has to do is rebound and pass.
Like Rodman.
Yeah.
Just rebound.
And maybe get 10, 15 points a game off putbacks and shit.
I mean,
that's if he plays. You know, he fucking.
Oh, come on. Guys, come on. His back hurts.
Yeah, his back hurt conveniently around when he was, they wanted to play the Sixers. I'm not ready yet. I'll be ready when we're done playing them. Boom, back again.
Look, we just finished the Stanley Cup final where dudes were playing with broken feet, broken hands.
I heard a line from Mike Rupper today. That was, if the dude could get his foot into his skate, he's skating. I'm like, that's fucking badass.
Oh, yeah. Valerie Nichushkin broke his first metatarsal and shoved his foot into a skate and played game 6. Complete fracture with a shift. Put his skates on, and they were like, the only thing you need to worry about is managing the pain. I've got this.
There is literally I love the toughness of that. Honestly, I really do. I look at hockey players I really haven't had a tough guy on the Penguins haven't had a tough guy in a while, which kind of sucks. I mean, listen, I'm not going to knock Crosby's one of the most probably if it's not McJesus, it's Crosby's the most skilled player in hockey, but. Hey, listen, Connor McDavid is a fucking
Connor McDavid is McJesus.
Connor McDavid is literally McJesus. That is his fucking nickname.
But you want to know who caught up with McJesus and poke-checked the puck away from him? That would be Conn Smythe winner Cale Makar.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Can you say that name again?
Cale Makar or Conn Smythe?
The whole thing.
Conn Smythe winner Cale Makar.
Wow. I've never heard that name before. I'm just saying that's
hockey journalism right there.
Wow.
This is 36 years of hockey knowledge.
Can you say that 3 times fast?
Conn Smythe winner Cale Makar, Conn Smythe winner Cale Makar, Conn Smythe winner Cale Makar.
That's impressive. Holy shit. All right, Jared owes you $10 for that one.
Pay up, baby.
Why the fuck am I paying her?
Pay up.
Wow.
I did a side gig fucking splitting wood today to pay my bills. Fuck you. Because I don't get another paycheck until July 11th, man. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, because the whole new job.
Yeah, and also because my boss in my last week, he's like, "Yeah, I got nothing for you." I'm like, "That's fine.
Thanks.
Could be worse. You could be working me to death the final week I'm working there."
True. I mean, it could be worse, but it could be better.
It's like, yeah, it would have been great to get some hours in, but at the same time, it's like, I fucking hated that job. I love my boss. I hate that job.
Mm.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yes, we have.
I made a mistake about a year ago, but it's okay. So I still got me out of moving, so that was a good part. We also, speaking of mistakes, Terry McLaurin. Dude, why sign?
Oh, yeah.
I just sign. Now you're going to have Carson Wentz or Taylor Heineke chucking you the ball for 2 seasons.
What is he, 20? Is he 25, 24?
Terry McLaurin's 25. He's a year older than A.J. Brown.
All right, but if you think about it, 3-year deal. He balls out for 3 years, does his thing. They still go 8 and 9 and 7 and 10, whatever they're going to go for the next couple of years. 28 years old, like Allen Robinson, he can still cash in pretty well.
Yeah, but A-Rob went to an ideal scenario. A-Rob's going to fucking L.A. where Matt Stafford's going to just basically hand him the ball 20 yards down the field, and he's going to be able to run free because everyone's staring at Cooper Kupp.
Well, you also got to see who's going to be the quarterback for the Commanders next year. I mean, I
Well,
know they just
according to
traded.
Heineke, it's Wentz, which is hysterical to me.
I think I'd rather just roll with Heineke because I just like the possible potential you can get from that, rather than just knowing what you're getting. You know what they did? They replaced Kirk Cousins with another Kirk Cousins. That's pretty much Carson Wentz.
A mobile Kirk Cousins. That's literally what he is.
They were like, this is familiar.
You know what the worst part is?
This feels safe.
I used to defend Carson Wentz adamantly. And then I watched him on another team, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" It's like a girlfriend in goggles or boyfriend in goggles, right? You defend them adamantly when you're dating them, but the second they're gone, you're like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
Oh yeah, that was me when I would try and defend Sam Darnold for his first 2 years in the league.
And here's the problem: is because I told you for years, I'm like, Matt, he's fucking dog shit.
Yeah,
no, he'll get his talent. Then again, also I defended Sam Darnold a lot too. I feel like a sucker for that one.
Well, it was really Adam Gase that just made us think that it wasn't Sam. And then you saw Sam without Adam Gase, and it was really Sam as well as Adam Gase.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, Washington's got this thing where it's like, all right, if the quarterback can get us like 8 wins, I'm satisfied. Anything more is great, but as long as we get 8, and then like Carson can do that. Let's get
realistically
Carson.
Though, Matt, because we did bold predictions last time. It was the 3 of us on here. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Realistically, how many wins do you think Washington has?
So you said realistically how many wins?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I will say I'm pretty sure FanDuel had them at like 7.5. I would take the under for that.
Fucking under! Oh my lord!
I would say I'll give them 6 wins.
You know what? Okay, yeah, I'll give him 1 against Dallas. It's gonna make no fucking sense. Dak is gonna look so confused. And, like, it's going to be one of those games where, like, Scary Terry and that running back core go off. Nope. I dropped my phone.
He's just dropping everything today.
Dude, it's okay. I was hosting a craft beer show on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the replay is available on Belly Up's YouTube as well. It was a fun time. I got pretty drunk. So did everyone involved.
Shocked. I'm so surprised. During a beer show?
I started talking politics with me and TJ and Ant at the end, and McCarthy, and we're all libertarians and Republicans, so it's like, oh boy, this is gonna be a real fun conversation. Maybe it stumbles on this one.
Maybe I'm glad I missed that part because I'm heated.
It's okay. We didn't talk about any of the stuff that would be getting people heated right now. Okay. We stayed away from those topics.
Good.
Because we're not stupid. Listen, there's a difference between drunk and stupid.
I mean, but for some people, that line is like this.
No, some people are stupid when they're sober. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, but for the people who aren't, the line between drunk and stupid sometimes is like this far apart. They run very closely parallel to each other.
Beth, to let you know, I've been best friends with Kevin for 4.5 years. Kevin will literally slice my throat if I say something he hates in politics. I brought up the pipeline as a joke at the bar, and he almost cut my throat. I'm like, gee. He went at me verbally. I was like, and my cousin and his other best friend who are sitting there are both even more liberal than Kevin is. Like, Jared, you walked into that one. I'm like, I've had like 7 beers. I'm done. I don't care.
Did you at least like hold the door for him to walk in and just verbally stomp you down?
I was just so caught up with the amount of rage that sparked within 30. His tone shifted so hard in about 30 seconds. Like, holy fuck. I'm like, that must have been pent up from something else earlier today, but shit, I got the blunt of it.
Yeah.
It's all good. I have a very mixed political family, so.
Oh, same.
Well, extended.
I have a very mixed like political view on the world. I don't fit into any boxes.
I believe in personal individual liberties. I am a constitutional libertarian. That is what I am. The Constitution is God. And I believe that every human being the government should not tell you what you can and cannot do.
Yes. I believe in bodily autonomy. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I one time said it to somebody about the little Fauci ouchie, and somebody almost threw a book at me.
I mean, I did the COVID vaccine clinical trial, so.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. You were the guinea pig.
Yes.
You're alive. Oh, it's okay. I got the J&J one just to be an asshole.
See, as a woman,
literally
still...
in the middle of the recall because of the blood clots, I got the J&J one just to be a dickhead.
As a woman who they were the most susceptible to all of the blood clotting because we bleed monthly. In case anybody didn't know, that's a thing.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's a thing. Somebody was like, "Are you going to get the J&J?" I was like, "You couldn't catch me dead on something that's like, you've got a really great chance of getting blood clots, maybe dying. Not here for that."
Well, my whole theory was I want the one that's not going to work. So, boom.
And I can guarantee that for you because as a Jets fan, my owners are the Johnson & Johnsons. And, if they get sued on a regular for the baby products, why would I put some sort of adult medication?
Here's the best part, kids. I literally was in my car, in a car with my father who had it bad back in December. Like, I had to miss 4 days of work because I had to wait for my test results to come back. I've been around people with COVID 1,000 times over. I'm bulletproof with COVID. I don't know if I have some kind of gift from God, my blood type, something in my body. Maybe some amount of tobacco I've smoked and ingested. I don't know, something like that. Maybe the amount of alcohol I've consumed in my life. There's something in my body.
You have sanitized from the inside.
Yeah, basically, the Nick Miller method. Basically, if COVID looks at me and goes, "Fuck no."
I'm good. I'll just see myself
it's like,
out. Okay?
I'm not willing. It's like I'm not willing to get into a for the Star Wars fans Umbara arc here. Okay, I'm not willing to lose more than I gain.
Oh Lord.
Listen, you want to know my political ideology? It's right here.
Well, is what
we're
it is.
loose on Independence Day weekend. I was almost gonna wear my Teddy Roosevelt tank top, but I was
Teddy Roosevelt.
I will post it.
Roosevelt.
I will post it on the Corner Booth Insta story after this.
I have an Alexander Hamel Guns t-shirt that I wear to the gym.
Go. Also, Maddie, shout out to Maddie over here for just kicking ass on the Corner Booth TikTok this week. I gotta play catch up. I gotta play catch up tomorrow once I get to. I'm going to the Poconos. I gotta play catch up and just start posting TikToks because I gotta rank mine. I'm terrible at TikTok, so Matt has to clean up my shit half the time.
I'm not even that great at them. I just know the
You're
basics.
better than me, dude. Your personal account actually gets views, which is which is crazy. I'm like, bro, I need you to help run our TikTok because like the person who left doesn't even use the correct fucking hashtags.
You are both better than me because I'm not even on TikTok.
Oh, I'm only on TikTok because I'm not in. So, shout out to my boy Frank Michael Smith. By the way, also happy birthday, Frank! You turned 28. I think for Wednesday.
Happy birthday! Cheers to that.
Cheers, Frank! Happy birthday, you motherfucker! I love you. And shout out to his company, Juice Media. By the way, Matt, we are now guaranteed 3 guests from Juice Media this 2 or 3 guests from Juice Media this summer. Frank, we're getting around football season. We're getting Chef Roy. Who actually has like a Snapchat channel, which is lit. He actually declared war on the caveman guy, whatever his fucking name is. The guy who eats like bone marrow, Liver King.
Oh, Liver King.
He's like been going at this dude on what's it called lately on Snapchat. I'm like, holy shit, like good for you, Roy.
I'm not messing.
Also, I gotta bounce some recipes off Roy because I made up a Cajun chicken bake recipe last week. 10 out of 10, boys and girls.
Yeah, the only person that I know from TikTok, there's a dude who does a Murph every day. And I'm like, respect, bro.
A Murph?
A mile run, 100
Oh, yeah.
The 100 push-ups, 300 squats, mile run. Yeah. Does it every day.
Day workout. Yeah, I know. I have a couple buddies who are vets, and they do that shit. It's intense.
Yeah, but he does it every day and then does other workouts. And I'm like,
that dude's a monster.
Bro.
Well, also sports TikTok is great because there's a couple of dudes from Connecticut. I think Bedmore Brand, Nate Jolie. There's a couple other ones who are out of here that I want to bring on the show. Matt, we also now it's just you and me and no more Grayson. We got to do a live show from like my house, like do a studio show right in the house.
I'm down.
Or you can go hang out in the wilderness.
Yeah, well, actually, Matt's been in my house like 5 times, so he knows exactly where. I literally I do live in the state.
Pardon me, I live in this. I live in Florida. So
I tried to move to Florida like 5 times and I gave up and took a job up here.
Well,
Yeah, no, we can definitely do that. Then we got to get Nate Jolie, and then he can get on here. He can be like, here we go.
Here we go. Yo, I just got to give him shit because some of his takes drive me fucking nuts.
Oh, speaking of takes, like I got a buddy that's like, I got money that the
I
Patriots
wanted
win
to
the
talk
AFC
about this
East.
anyway, so good lead in.
He never gave me a reason. I'm just like, because he had everybody. He's like, all right, name your predictions for your winners. I was like, all right, well, let's go down the AFC. I was like, the Colts, the Bills. I was like, my sleepers, the Chargers, and then I was gonna just go with the Bengals. And he was like, oh yeah, I got Patriots, Bengals. This sound like, oh, I was like, who's winning the AFC East? He's like, Matt, no. I was like, no, I'm not talking about the Jets. I'm not talking about my Jets. I'm like, who? The Patriots? He's like, yeah. I think he said like the schedule or something. I was like, I get it. Maybe the schedule is a little easier for them. But I was like, they went from J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, to their best secondary guy is like their 35-year-old safety. I was like,
he's like 37.
Their secondary went from being top 10 to like it's ranked in like the mid-20s right now. I was like, they have
Jacksonville legend Mac Jones. So
we all know about McCorkle. Trust me, Kevin is here. Kevin literally kisses the ground that Mac Jones walks on. So
yeah, what was that? Michael McCorkle Jones?
Yeah, something like that. It's okay. I literally like I'm a big Jalen Hurts stan. Like I just love the fact that dude is just a vibe. Mm-hmm. He's literally a running. He's the same height and weight as Adrian Peterson, runs a 4.5 and is a quarterback. He's literally a vibe. This dude is literally like the Energizer Bunny with an arm.
I mean, you got Mac Jones, he's throwing to Devontae Parker, Tyquan Thornton, Jacoby Myers, and Kendrick Bourne, and then you got
and Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, Nelson Aguilar, and then you got the Ramondre Stevenson and James White. Like, you got gadget players. It's not
bad offense.
It's not terrible. I mean, you still got Austin Hooper. Not Hooper. They got Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad. It's just not.
Okay,
it's not good enough to compete with the Bills.
I thought about this because on our bold predictions, Beth wrote them down because she took notes. I say
them.
I know.
Came prepared.
This is because Beth is like our best commenter. She also keeps her notes. The best thing about this whole AFC East, right, is we all know the Bills are going to win the fucking thing. Unless Josh Allen tears ACL in like week 1. Please don't, Josh. I love you. And also because I want my boy Greg Rousseau to bring a championship back to the U. At least NFL. We haven't. I don't think you guys won the Super Bowl in a couple of years. Keep those rings in our trophy case coming. By the way, Miami just landed like 4 like crazy big recruits in the last like 5 days. Mario Cristobal like took those in. They saw the NCAA sanctions. He went like this. Yeah, fuck you. Kept bringing guys in.
I know it's a 15,000 odd, but if the Jets were to get to the Super Bowl and win, Braxton Berrios can take a ring back to the U.
Oh, BB's my guy. One of my favorite plays. I think it was the game winner against Virginia Tech in 2017. He like caught the go-ahead touchdown with like a minute and a half left. It was like a toe tap Wes Welker catch. I was like, that's just the problem was. Why I love Braxton Berrios. Berrios runs routes like a Welker and Edelman, but he has the speed of like a Santana Moss, and it's ridiculous.
It's insane.
And I'm like, that's a white boy running that fast.
But
I will say, there's only one hot take. You both had the same.
But them going last.
That the Patriots would have the worst record in the AFC East.
Oh,
there's only one caveat to this. I think the Jets are going to have a great season. I think Jets are going to probably have a winning record. Mm-hmm. My one kicker is if Tua is fucking dog shit. And that's very realistic. If Tua gets hit a couple times and he's just chucking balls into the air, like, and also Tyreek's. So we talked about Miles Sanders today. I said, oh, the Eagles, it feels like an all-star team because there's a lot of like good players. Yeah, great. It's not like Vince Young's dream team comment. That was. I'm like, all right, we're fucked. This one, I'm just like, whatever.
We're done.
No, listen. 2011, I saw that. I'm like, oh, we're screwed.
I will say I drove by an apartment complex yesterday, and somebody was still flying their Eagles Super Bowl champions flag outside of their balcony.
I would.
I almost like if the light hadn't turned green, I was going to take a picture and send it to you, Jared.
That would be amazing
because I knew that you would love it.
Us Eagles fans, we were proud. Literally, my grandmother wanted to see pictures of when I went to the Eagles game because she's 80 something years old. She's putting on a whole 9 at this point. She's about to call it a day, and God, I love her, and she's an interesting gal, but she's definitely reserved her spot going up top. She's done. I mean, come on, Matt was at her husband's funeral. What, 5 years ago? You and Pat showed up.
Yeah, we were probably graduating Southern.
Yeah, we were juniors. But anyway, so I was showing her pictures of the Eagles watching the game I went to on a Tuesday night, which was lit as fuck, by the way. Having to go to work. It was the week of Christmas. Having to go to work on Wednesday. I was so hungover at work. So I had one of those delayed hangovers, where I was sober driving home and I went to bed, but I got up feeling like I literally was just attacked by everything possible I drank the night before.
I think the worst one's when you wake up and you feel
Southbury, which is like probably 50 minutes, sober as a fucking nun. Got home, went to bed, woke up at 6 a.m. to go to work, and I'm like, oh God. And I literally, I'm looking at the contract, the GC, I'm like, hey man, any of the bathrooms open? He goes, what's up? I'm like, I went to the Eagles Washington game last night. He goes, you were in Philly last night? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, fuck, bro, downstairs bathroom, you're good. He goes, aren't you working on that bathroom? I'm like, yeah, it's my project. He goes, hey, listen, man, you want to deal with your own shit? Go for it. I was about to hurl. I literally just had to sit in there and just drink water for about 20 minutes. My foreman comes down and goes, why did it take you a whole day to do a bathroom? I'm like, Dennis, man, I was sick as a fucking dog. You shouldn't have had him come in today. I did one bathroom. He did 4. That's how bad I was. It was totally worth it, though, for my first Eagles game at the Lincoln. And also, one of the pictures I took was that championship banner, and I said, that's the happiest day of my life. Yeah. Until I get married or I have my first, second, third, whatever kids, that is the happiest day of my life right now. Is the Philadelphia Super Bowl.
My regret day was the day after the Cubs won the World Series because I stayed up to watch it because obviously Chicago. And I had to be at work at 4 a.m. Game ended after midnight. And I think I got maybe 45 minutes of sleep.
Oh, I got maybe 3 hours too. Me and my boy. Yeah. I told you this story. Me and my roommate in college were celebrating. Matt, you remember Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and him were up watching the game, and we literally started drinking. We were loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I don't blame you for staying up past midnight for that because, especially like if Cubs fan, it's been that long. Like, yeah, I would stay up until 5 minutes before I'd have to go to work if I had to watch that.
Yeah, the only part about it that truly broke my heart is my grandpa had died maybe 6 months prior to the Cubs winning the World Series, and he never got to see it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, he saw 3 Hawks Cups though. So
hey, listen, there could be a lot worse things. Because what was it, end of 2000s, early 2010s, the Blackhawks were just a house.
They were good. I mean, that
who they had? Right Patrick Kane and Taves, Jonathan Taves,
Kane, Taves, Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook.
That team was a fucking wagon because. Here's me in 2008. My team steamrolling everybody to get to the chip. They beat fucking Marion Hossa and the fucking Red Wings. Poverty franchise. I despise the Red Wings.
Oh, and then of course you can't forget Marion Hossa because he went from the Penguins.
He lost in Pittsburgh and then lost in Detroit.
And then he came to Chicago and got to hoist 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah,
His official one-day retirement pennant is hanging on my wall to my right.
Marion Hossa.
I got to stand 20 feet away from that man when he signed his one-day contract in Chicago.
Nice.
I saw him cry talking about his babies.
I'm not calling you a sellout. I'm calling Marion Hossa a sellout.
Why? Because he needed to find the right team?
I mean, he could have just stayed a year instead of being some chicken shit, but whatever.
I mean, it was legitimately the greatest free agent signing in Blackhawks history.
Got it. Also, by the way, have you ever heard the story of Yenny Malkin getting to America? That shit's fucking scary.
It is.
It reads like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. This dude had to duck Spetsnaz for like 2 years. Not Spetsnaz, KGB for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
He had to dodge Call of Duty people in order to stay
more
in
like
the
Call of Duty Black Ops, let's be honest. Like now we're talking more like KGB versus CIA.
Yeah, his like coming to America story is insane. It's the same with Stan Mikita because he came over to Canada when he was like 7 or 8. I want to say he was adopted by his aunt and uncle because I believe his parents died. I don't remember the full details of it, but
they were probably shot. Let's be honest, it's Russia. They were probably shot.
No, they were Slovakian.
Oh, even worse. They were probably shot. There's been more civil wars in the Balkans than there have been in most of the world.
but that man was another amazing sports hero. But yeah, this is an autographed Patrick Kane picture.
I do respect that.
I think the 13 Cup run. I don't remember off the top of my head. I just love it.
I do have a topic that just kind of dropped in my lap just now. Julian Edelman ranked his top 3 receivers in the league right now. His rankings: number 3, Cooper Kupp; number 2, Keenan Allen; number 1, Devontae Adams. So, Matt, I know we got to talk about this because honestly, this is just like, come on.
All right, so
who are your top?
Keenan Allen is a fantastic route runner.
We'll do our top 5 because top 3 is kind of bullshit. top 3 is pot shot shit.
5.
I'll do my 5 first. I'll make it easy for you.
All
right. Number 5, AJ Brown. Dude literally put up 1,000 yards with like broken Carson Wentz as a quarterback. That's why I refer to Ryan Tannehill as. Like if Tannehill is literally the ultimate game manager, and AJ Brown still have put ridiculous numbers. AJ Brown's pro comp is TO, and that should tell you something. It's a Hall of Fame versus pro comp. That's scary. Number 4, give me Jamar Chase. The dude is just explosiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a rookie pop off like this since we were kids and watching Randy Moss. He just is not normal. Number 3 is Big Coop. He's a machine. And with Stafford, he's the best pure route runner, but he also can move. It's not like he can only get open by breaking your ankles. He can actually get by you. And I keep forgetting the fact he's over 6'2", which people don't tell you. And so you actually look and say, oh my God, he's actually tall as a slot receiver.
Mm-hmm.
2 is Jay Jets. Listen, as much as I hate seeing him this good. I got love for Jay Jets because he's just putting up numbers with a freaking rube as a quarterback. Imagine if the Eagles were smart and took Jay Jets, and they had Jay Jets and Devontae Smith as their starting receivers. Actually, no, we would have never gotten Devontae Smith because if they listened to Howie, or no, if Howie listened to Carson Wentz, surprisingly, we would have had DK Metcalf instead of JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and we would have had Jay Jets instead of Jalen Reagor. That's just terrifying. But you know what? The NFL works in weird ways because now we have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I'm not complaining. But yeah, no. So, and number 1 is obviously Devontae Smith. I mean Devontae Adams. Wow, there's 3 Devontaes.
There you go.
Listen, as much as I love, we grew up with Julio Jones and D-Hop, right? But they can't stay healthy now.
Don't forget Andre Johnson, Des Bryant, Demaryius Thompson.
Andre Johnson is my favorite one of my favorite all-time receivers, not just because the dude's from the U and the dude was a big receiver who could run. He also would freaking murk you if you got in his grill. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Cortland Finnegan for getting whooped in the center of the field. That was one of the literally. I'm at a sports bar with my high school girlfriend, and she's like, "Jared, why are they fighting?" I'm like, "Oh, Cortland Finnegan probably deserved it." And she goes, "What do you mean?" I'm like, Cortland Finnegan's a piece of shit. Like that's the kind of what's going on here. But yeah, no, got a lot of love for Big AJ. But yeah, Devontae Adams is just the best pure receiver. And everyone's like, oh, he's gonna drop off because now with Rodgers. I'm like, no. The guy who got him drafted in the 2nd round is now his quarterback. Like, this is his boy. And the Raiders don't have a bad team by any stretch. They could use one more outside receiver. Dealing Bryan Edwards to the Falcons was not the smartest idea. But honestly, it's like because Bryan Edwards, by the way, nobody's talking about this. The Falcons have just a big receiving core. I think Bryan Edwards is 6'3", 220. Drake London 6'5", 210. And then you have Kyle Pitts who's 6'6", 240. Like, that's a big receiving core.
Yeah.
Like, even if Mariota and Ritter can't aim for shit, that catch radius is fucking huge. Matt, me and you can play drunk quarterback slinging that into those freaking catch radiuses. Oh my God.
As long as it's in the distance or in the vicinity of their hands, we're probably fine.
Dude, that's like back when Matty Ice had Julio, Roddy White, and Tony G. That's what it reminds me of. Where just like Ryan had like literally these catch radiuses the size of a fucking like kitchen table. I love when we have no set topics because this show goes full ADHD and we're just going on rants for hours.
Welcome to my life.
I mean, yeah, Captain ADHD. Matt's been friends with me for like 9 years at this point, Beth has been friends with me for about 6 months.
Yeah, hi. And I'm like the queen of ADHD. So.
Oh yeah, no. I was one. I got diagnosed back when it wasn't a designer's disease.
Same. And first I was diagnosed as bipolar because that's.
You know what's so funny? You know what the best medicine I've taken for it is Alpha Brain. The brand Joe Rogan endorses, because Joe Rogan's got it really bad too. And as much whatever you want to say about Joe Rogan, I don't really give a fuck about that opinion. But here's the thing about the Alpha Brain. I literally have reached out to them and I'm like, listen, I will endorse your product for a freaking affiliate deal. Your shit works. Your probiotic fixed my stomach.
Yeah,
I fully believe in their product. They're what's it called? Oh my god, Ghost found a fly and he's about to break open a screen.
Oh boy,
left a door screen open so I could hear him doing dumb shit. But the best part about all the Onnit products, I haven't had a bad one yet. Protein, loved it. Probiotic, loved it. Alpha Brain, still take it every week. I haven't taken it in a while because I really hasn't focused much, but now I have to because I'm actually going to a job where I have to focus. But it's like one of those great companies. I'm like, fuck, all their shit's great. Apparently, I've heard the pre-workout's amazing too. So,
see, my favorite pre-workout is Pro Mix. It's no calorie. It's all vitamins. It's environmentally friendly. It's all sustainable, packaging. You get refills instead of big plastic tubs all the time, and that shit works. I chug that, and I get to the gym, and I'm like, okay, I have to go right now because I'm going to claw my face off of my body.
That's amazing. I love that. The problem is I had a really bad caffeine dependency.
It doesn't have a significant amount of caffeine. It's mostly vitamins.
When I sold insurance when I was 22, I want to get Andy Sayre on here at some point to talk supplements and all that shit because he's our resident powerlifter. Owns a fucking gym. But my thing is,
I wish I owned a powerlifting gym because I would just never leave.
Problem is, I would need to go to an athlete's gym with tracks and
oh yeah.
My workouts are all Matt's worked out with me. My workouts are all athlete based.
Mm-hmm.
There's no powerlifting. I mean, yeah, I bench press, but I don't even deadlift or squat. I use the Pit Shark for squatting because I have my back. So the Pit Shark, I had 5 plates on each side yesterday. Banged it out. The problem is my freaking patella. Which I tried to do sprints today. I got one warm up jog in, and I felt my knee just lock up. I'm like, wow, I feel old today.
My training cycle this time around, we've got front squats, deadlifts, cleans.
Love me some front squats. That's the one squatting I'll do.
Bench, hip thrusts. I had to jerry rig a hip thrusting situation because I maxed out the plate machine, the Nordic hip thrust machine.
Nice.
Because it's 360 pounds per side. Bro.
That's ain't shit.
Look, thick thighs save lives, okay?
This girl I used to hang with, I mean, this girl was bad news for me, but all jokes aside, this girl was strong as hell. I watched her hip thrust 400 pounds. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Most women don't hip thrust as much as they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of our power is in our legs because we carrying babies.
Lately, she's really she's tiny, right? She's 5'1". I watch her hip thrust 400 pounds. I'm like, you go, girl. Shit.
I see girls hip thrusting 2 plates at the gym, and I'm like, stop it. Do more. Put more.
If I can bench press it, you can hip thrust it more. And I have a busted shoulder.
I mean, I leg press 10 plates, so
there you go.
I got you beat 22.
You talking 10 on each side?
Yeah. I was at Danbury. I put this is pre-pandemic, but I did 22 plates. No, my record. No, 18. Sorry, my record for anything though is I got I think 20 yards with the Harrison challenge. I did 1,000 pounds on the prowler sled. Ooh. Oh, go stop! Oh my god.
Yeah, no. There's a guy at the gym I go to who likes to leg press, and it sounds like he's giving birth.
Oh, nice.
And literally, he'll walk into the gym, and everybody's like, "Fuck this guy."
Oh, the grunter. Oh, Matt, you
No,
gotta come.
he's not. It's not even a grunter. It's like full on primal pushing a baby out of his penis sounds. Like,
oh, kidney stones, got it.
like it's awful. And everybody's like, "What is he doing?" I'm like, "Giving birth. It's fine."
Oh no,
Give him
there's
a
a guy.
minute.
There's one. I'm convinced there's one of those guys at every gym.
Yeah, and it's we call him the birther, and then we've got another chick who does split jerks in socks. So she's jerks in socks because she's gonna die. Like she's gonna slip and fall and bust her head open. She's not wearing hospital socks. She's wearing like plain old like no show ankle socks.
Yeah.
She is going to die. Like you don't split jerk in socks. Come on.
The only thing I'll do in socks is one, jump rope, and then two, I'll do pit sharks and socks sometimes because I don't have a wide enough toe box flat shoe. My flat shoes are my Vans, which are half size too small because the dipshit lady who sold them to me. Nah.
Yeah, I'll squat barefoot, I'll deadlift barefoot, I'll leg press barefoot. Pretty much anything that is like a predominant like leg strength movement, I will do barefoot because I want to feel the ground. And like not in socks, like full barefoot.
Yeah, I know. See, I gotta wear socks. I've had too many foot issues for me to like trust a gym floor. That's my problem. Like I
clean the floor before I begin. I clean the platform.
My leg exercises are all functional. There's no like powerlifting involved. It's just all about like what is naturally going to be an athlete movement.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, I mean I do plenty of that tomorrow. I've got heavy sled sprints and farmer carries and all of the functional fitness stuff. I'm so excited. It's like my hit day. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah.
I think the more annoying thing is when you're working out and you just hear the people slamming the barbells on the ground.
God!
But you look over and they've got like 20 pounds on each side. Like they're lifting like 25 pounds on each side. They're just fucking like boom. Like,
sir, you are deadlifting 95 pounds. What are you doing? Why are you throwing that bar?
So I have a bunch of friends who we're all I'm formerly a contractor, no longer anymore, but all of us contractors, we come in around 3 or 4 o'clock. We're all working hard. We're all lifting. We're all doing whatever. I was joking. One of my guys are septic contractors. These guys are hard workers. These guys are real roughnecks. Mm-hmm. I'm talking with my buddy Shane, and we're talking. I threw my earbuds. I can hear this wannabe fake, like tough, like military. He's not. He was reserves, but he acts like he was like overseas, like kind of like one of those guys. And this guy is now in the police academy. He slammed his dump. He had maybe 400 on the deadlift. Like it was respectable, but his back was like this when he picked it up. I'm like, dude, you were gonna you're fine.
You're gonna end up in traction.
Dude, that I was, and he would just slam and grunt that shit, and I would, in front of him, make fun of him, and just like because like the ladies in the classes on the other side of the gym would be like, why? And you know, I'd be like. As I'm walking by, I'm just being a jack because, like, you know, what is he gonna? Yeah, he wants to fight, it's over. He can't reach for his sidearm before I hit him.
There was a dude at the gym last week, and he was doing heavy deadlifts, and I was hip thrusting, and I was like, I want to watch. Like, I was just sitting there, like in between sets, like I want to watch this happen. Like he started it when we walked up. He was doing like 385. Okay. And then jumped up to 405. And I was like, I want to watch this. And he came over afterwards. And I was like, you know, great pulls, you know, the last one was tough. And he was like, yeah, I had reconstructive back surgery, which is why I don't deadlift with a belt. And I was just like,
before we get back to like sports, I do want to say one thing. I met a guy at my gym who's beaten the Reaper 3 times. He's died 3 times.
Oh, yes.
3 heart attacks have killed him. He's been legally dead, and he's somehow like been last chance Hail Mary, hit him with the defibrillator. This dude is resurrected. The hospital's resurrected him 3 times. 60-something years old, smoked cigarettes almost his entire life, 3 heart attacks. And I look at him, I'm like, how do you live? Like, what do you do once you've died 3 times and like been resurrected? He goes, you look at life differently. I'm like, yeah. I just chat with this dude because he's just one of those guys like. You don't meet people who have died 3 times. And I'm like, what's it like to be fucking dead? And he goes, it just goes black, man.
Everything at this point is a gift. If you've died 3 times and come back,
about like if there is like an afterlife, because I don't know if he was there that long. But like, you know, I'm a practicing Catholic. Obviously, I wear a fucking giant Celtic chain around my neck and I have one tattoo on my arm. But I pray every fucking day that my life doesn't go fucking haywire. But I'm like, 3 times you've given the Reaper the middle finger. Like, I don't think 4th's coming, man. But damn, man, 3 times. And he goes, yeah, just, you know, you just look at every day like a blessing. I'm like, you know, God bless. That's what you got to do.
Every day's a gift at that point. If you've died 3 times and been sent back, then just do what you want. Like, it's insane.
Somebody's phone in the background is ringing off the fucking hook.
Not I.
Phone in the background.
Matthew,
my
your
phone's
phone
not
is
ringing.
Yeah.
Is it? Are you getting text messages?
Oh, I had like a notification quick. That might have been it.
Yeah, I hear a vibration every time he gets a text message. Oh, so a few max deals, by the way, that have just been hit. Booker getting a max deal. So is Jokic. Bradley BL 251 to stay with the Wizards. What the shit?
Wow.
Why? The only team in DC that's more dysfunctional than the Washington football team is the fucking Wizards.
Excuse me, sir. It's the Washington Commanders now.
We are Commanders. Bum,
Bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, bum.
Here we go, commies. Here we go. Listen, my new name for the quarterback is Kamikaze Kami Carson Wentz. Because, listen, everything about Carson Wentz is literally just charging head first with no repercussions. Kamikaze. I totally ripped it off from Boston Connor from the Pat McAfee show. But, yeah, Booker got 214. Bill got 251. Joker got 264.
Jeez.
Oh, and Miles Bridges got arrested. MVP off to a hot start.
Well then, what a day it's been.
Yeah, and then Jalen Brunson got given $110 million from the Knicks as a new draft pick. Kyrie's done with the Nets officially. Katie requests a trade. Jaren Jackson is out 4 to 6 months. Fuck Jaren Jackson, but I hope he recovers. Grizzlies.
Peace and peace, buddy, but fuck you.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I had to deal with your dumb ass during that Timberwolves Grizzlies series. Watching the Grizzlies get smoked by the fucking Warriors made my day.
So everybody got
Elias Harris. It's all NBA right now. Shams is working OT right now.
So pretty much everybody got a max deal except Kyrie.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Arrested for domestic violence in Los Angeles. Jesus Christ. Way to thank your contract, dumbass.
Oh.
You know, I know what cracks me up about all these, and this is, I've never been around. Lucky for me, I've never had to been around domestic violence. I know people have. I have friends that I have very close friends. The one thing with these athletes that always bothered me is like, if you really are that mad at your significant other, just walk out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Just walk out of the house.
Same way with people who have gotten DUIs, especially famous people. Like, you have millions of dollars. If you don't have Uber
Henry
on your phone,
his career is over. He could have easily called a fucking Uber.
Yeah, like you call an Uber, you get home.
Yeah,
if you know you're going to go out and drink, order a fucking car.
My Corvette gets stuck at a club for a day, dude. Who cares? Even if it gets fucking impounded for a day, you still maybe pay $150.
Yeah. Now
you're not strapped for cash. The Raiders gave you $21 million.
Yeah. People who drive drunk, like that's
I need. It's like I've never understood this because I've been blue collar and broke almost my entire life, right? So it's been very like I've never had the oh my God, I have money, like money,
mm-hmm.
right? Like so. Mm-hmm. If I save my ass off until about January, I'll be able to afford my trail boss, my truck. And that's the first nice thing, like really, really nice thing. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing silver chains I found at a warehouse sale. These are real silver, but these are like $200 chains that I found on the Amazon warehouse because they fell off a truck, basically.
No, they were returned.
Yes, basically.
Amazon warehouse deals are returns.
Yeah, basically, my aunt, like, who's a antique dealer, she goes, "Yeah, they're real silver." I'm like, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, they probably were returned." So yes,
anything you buy from Amazon warehouse, it is a customer return because they technically can't resell it as new.
Yeah, this isn't like it was from a company selling through Amazon that they had to sell their inventory for the year. Mm-hmm. And then this cross is older than my house that I'm currently at right now. Yeah. This cross is probably 50, 60 or 70 years old.
I have a Celtic cross hanging in my living room that my grandparents got for their wedding.
I had one that was 150 years old. Was still on my locker at my gym.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. It was heavy. Matt, you remember that cross from college?
I do remember that one.
It had like a bunch of.
Did you feel the burden of sin hanging around your neck?
Yeah. You felt that Catholic guilt when you wore that.
You felt the guilt, like, damn, I need to go to confession right fucking now.
You were like, I was jumping up and down at a party and it hit me in the teeth. I thought I cracked the tooth. But you know, and we had because it was 5 it was like each one had a different rune on it. It was definitely old Celtic. I'm talking like worshiping the Celtic gods, like almost like pagan times, the way it was carved, and it had 5 links on the bottom, 2 on top, and 2 and a 1.5 on each side. I had to cut one off because it was so heavy.
Damn.
We had one grinded off by a professional jeweler my dad knows, and it still was heavy. You could see it in my
the weight of Catholic guilt. You could see it in my own
Instagram photos from college, from like 2016. It got stolen in early 2018. That's when I got stolen out of my locker. Out of a chain that I had since I was 7.
People suck.
Mm-hmm.
They're awful.
Every a quick buck, right? And I was friends with the janitor at that gym, man. He goes, "Oh, my friend," he barely spoke. He goes, "My friend Jared, I looked every day for 2 months." I'm like, Benny, it's okay. I appreciate it. So the first thing I bought when I was able to actually make money again because I was about to declare bankruptcy at 22. Scary shit, right? I bought these 2 chains for $30 and $45 a piece.
Yeah.
I got them on sale. They were about $150 and $200 a clip, but they were at year end. So they said, "Yeah, I'll give them to you for cheap." I'm like, sweet.
Let's go.
I also have a second cross too. It's hanging from my my Eagles pennant because God bless the Eagles.
I have a cross on my leg, so
yeah.
I don't know if I can get it up there. I did 10 incline on the treadmill for too long today, so my legs are dead. These were on my legs when we started.
Because 100%, I'm 50. Well, even on my Polak side is weird. Like I feel like there's Polak, but there's a lot of Viking mixed in because it's northern Poland. So you know, Ragnar and his boys definitely were stomping around there before they started going to England.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's talk more sports. Sports. We got a half hour left, actually. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what? This is how I imagine the show though. Is like just shooting the shit like we're at a sports bar. That's like kind of how this show goes. Our Tuesday show, which by the way we'll be doing. Matt, do you have your volleyball league Tuesday?
No, not this Tuesday.
All right, it'll be my first day of work, so we may start at 7.
Okay.
Because I got to go watch my uncle and aunt's cat. They kind of roped me into that.
Cats are pretty.
They just paid me way too much money to split wood today. So
cats are super independent. So,
Maddie, I never even heard your top 5 receivers.
Oh,
ADHD baby.
All right. I think you know what's funny. The number 1s, 2, and 3 are so easy. It's really 4 and 5. Just thinking about all of your options. I think honestly, I would put DK at 5
over AJ.
No, AJ's 4. I think AJ's a better route runner.
The only thing DK has over AJ is height and speed.
I think, but I think AJ Brown's a better route runner. I think he gets open a little more. I think he's. Let's put it this way: when the whole things are going around, like the Jets were going to get DK Metcalf, they were going to get Debo, they were going to get AJ Brown. For me, it was AJ, Debo, DK. I would have gone
AJ, DK, Debo. I'm not a big Debo guy.
I got DK ranked over Debo. I like Debo for the versatility, but when he said he didn't want to be that gadget kind of package guy, I was like, all right, well, you're losing a little bit of credibility if you're gonna, take away parts of your game, which made you be one of the best in the league at that position because of what you could do. So I like DK. Honorable mentions would be like Debo, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans for me, but I would go DK, AJ, Cooper, Justin Jefferson, and then Devontae Adams.
You know what's so crazy about Justin Jefferson, right? So let's look at the top 5 receivers because basically the same top 5, except I have Chase and you have DK. So DK is my number 6. So let's look at these top 6 receivers, right? I mean, Beth, do you want to do a top 5?
I can't really give a top 5, but I only have one question because my football knowledge is minimal because I basically watch it for the first couple of weeks and then hockey starts. And
so here's the deal, because you're part of the Corner Booth fam now. You got to actually have like some knowledge. So you got to watch a lot of football this year.
I'm planning on it. There are actually plans to make this happen, to be a regular-ish football watcher.
Also, because your Jags is going to be fun this year. Doug, listen, I'm going to tell you as a person.
Look, I've heard that before and been let down significantly.
St. Doug Peterson is one of the most fun football coaches to watch. One, you're only going to punt about 30 times a year. Two, your quarterback is going to throw for 1,000 yards a game because he's just going to – and also you have 2 fun running backs. And your defense is just all attitude and just a bunch of no-names, which means somebody's going to be a Pro Bowler because it's kind of
giving me – I guess I'll have to bust my Maurice Jones-Drew Jaguars jersey.
MJD, Captain Thick Thighs himself. Like, there we go. he makes Kyle Lowry look skinny.
Yeah, I got that jersey at the stadium. I was at a game with my mom. It was the first time I'd ever been to a Jags game when we first moved here. And it was right when the new – I don't remember what company took over, but a different company took over jersey production. So Nike. All of the old company, I think it was Adidas.
The Reebok.
Reebok. All of the Reebok jerseys were like 75% off.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I'll take this one.
MJD also, by the way, MJD was one of those fun running backs to watch.
Yeah.
My favorite Jaguar right now, though, is Rashawn Jenkins. Shout out to
Yeah. I mean, it's also like a dress at this point because I weighed 95 pounds more than I do now when I bought it. So, but yeah, so it's a dress. I've tried it on. I'm like, oh, I should get a belt. I should cinch the waist. Look at this. Perfect.
One thing I will say about the Nike jerseys is they don't fit guys with muscular shoulders.
And that's kind of awkward since, football players tend to have.
Okay, so no, they're because I had a game jersey. I had an authentic Wentz jersey that was Nike, and that thing fit me perfectly. But the problem is my shoulder size is a double XL.
Yeah, you're broad.
My arm size is XL, and my stomach's about a large XL. Mm-hmm. The problem is I wear an XL jersey. My Dawkins throwback, it's what I wear every Sunday. I have a McCoy one. I have a Jackson Reebok, and I have a very fitted Ronnie McLeod, which I'll never wear, unfortunately, because it's skin tight. It's like my high school jersey. It's like a sausage casing on me. But shout out to my boy Maserati, got me an authentic McLeod Super Bowl jersey. I love it. I just can't wear it because it's too skinny on me. My Dawkins jersey, I wear it all the time. I look like looks like this. I look like I have no neck wearing because it's literally up my shoulders. Like the next jersey I want to get is either AJ Brown or Jalen Hurts, depending on how the season goes.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to get a Gardner Minshew jersey, but then
sorry. Well, you guys had to draft Trevor, so
yeah. So, but back to my question because ADHD. Mm-hmm. Why the only wide receiver I really know of is Tyreek Hill. So why is he not?
Because
he's good, right?
He's top 7. He's top 10 easily.
He just runs straight.
But he's just run straight, and once he gets the ball in his hand, he's elite. But as a route runner, if it isn't for his speed, he's not good. His footwork's terrible. He rounds out his route. So strategically,
so Forrest Gump would be a good comparison. He just runs a straight line.
Imagine a 5'9" Forrest Gump with dreads and a lot of wily, he's like slippery speed. Yes, he could run a straight line fast, but he also is elusive.
Okay,
he's basically if he's Deshaun Jackson, but stumpier and probably a little more explosive off the jump. D-Jax on a straight line, nobody could catch him. Yeah. But side to side, you can catch Deshaun Jackson. Tyreek Hill is just as fast side to side as he is going straight, which is why he's so deadly. But the problem is with Hill is that half of his touchdowns were Mahomes running like a jackass for 20 minutes behind the line of scrimmage, hawking it downfield. And you name me one quarterback who has the endurance to keep up with 4.3-1 speed for that long, he's going to look faster than everyone else on the field.
Yeah.
Tyreek's problem is now he went to a team with no accuracy. Jalen is not a real quarterback. Sorry.
I just had to ask because that's the name that I know. So
problem with him is that he also is a deep threat receiver, and he went to a team with a quarterback that does not have a strong arm.
Oh
no, Tua's got an okay arm. Tua's arm is like the Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins area. Like it's good, but it's not elite.
Yeah, but it's not something where he's gonna launch it.
Like if he went to the Buffalo Bills, Tyreek Hill is gonna just eat. But the problem is
it's basically his location that
he went to Miami. Tua's best routes are 20 yards and in, where Tyreek's most dangerous is 30 yards and over.
I saw some videos on Instagram of him like just dropping bombs.
Yeah, but Tyreek had to sit 5 seconds to catch the ball.
He had to catch it like behind him on the run.
Yeah, and if I'm a defensive back, if I see a receiver have to cut back towards a route, my eyes light up like a Christmas tree. Either I'm going to deck this dude in the rib cage and he's not going to want to catch the ball again, or I'm jumping that route and taking it to the house.
If Tyreek went to the Bills, holy shit!
Yeah, the Bills with him and Diggs, the Bills go 16-0.
Yeah, I was going to say I would take the over of like 13.5.
I went to the Jags game this past season, and I saw the 103-yard punt return touchdown.
That was the most amazing moment of history. I literally watched. I watched that live on Red Zone. That was my first Red Zone experience.
Watched it live in person.
That's amazing.
We were just sitting there and we were like, oh, he's
okay. So does Kyler Murray look that short in real life too?
I was sitting in the 300s, so everybody looked short.
But he must look like a munchkin compared to the rest of them.
I mean, everyone was kind of like a little dot running on the field.
Yeah, true.
I was almost at the top of TIAA Bank Stadium.
I was in the high twos when I watched Philly versus Washington.
Yeah. But, I also was about this color red by the time we were done, even though it was overcast, raining, and I reapplied sunscreen every 3 hours. My legs were that color.
I must be finally getting into my my Italian quarter of me because I literally sat out sun all day and I just no burnt. I'm
88% Irish, sir. The son and I, we are not friends.
Okay, so maybe it's the Nordic side of me because I think my dad's side it's like 80% Polish. The rest is Viking mix, Danish, maybe some
your warrior skin says "fuck you, UV race."
Basically, my ancestors, the Pole. Oh, by the way, I found this out. Polish cavalry in the medieval times wore wings on the back of their armor and would ride it. Yeah, I'll send you a picture afterward. These motherfuckers were badass. My ancestors were Celtic warriors, picks. By the way, that's what they were called by the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Scottish warriors in the Viking times were white face paint and were running at you with fur kilts at Mach 1 with sais and knives.
I'd run away.
You ever seen the movie The Eagle with Channing Tatum?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Is it one of his best porn? It's a historical historical movie. Yeah, those are Scottish warriors that he's fighting.
Yeah,
those motherfuckers are terrifying.
I would run away even if I had a gun.
Yeah. The only significant relations I have are
Polish cavalry had big steel wings with feathers on the back because their mascot's the eagle, the Polish eagle. It's bad. And these guys had curved sabers and these big lances that had spikes on them. I'm like, until we got all wussied out during World War I, we were a badass military.
Yeah.
And then Russia kind of fucked us. Fuck Russia.
I mean, 'tis what they do. Yeah. The only significant ones that I know of is I am related to Walt Disney. Yeah, that was a fun ancestry.
Good.
Yeah, that was a really fun ancestry hint that popped up. I was like, oh, okay. And I also am related to 2 former U.S. presidents and a former U.S. vice presidential candidate.
All right, which presidents though? This is interesting.
Well, their father and son.
W?
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Don't fool me again.
Wait, I lied. And a former first lady, but way long time ago.
Okay.
I'll put it to you this way. On my grandmother's side of the family, there is a maiden name of Delano.
Oh, Teddy! That's my dog. That's my favorite president.
And I mean, Robin Williams played him so well. Come on.
Oh my God, yeah. And
so
also,
I
will never go to the Natural History Museum again after they tore down a statue. They can literally go fuck themselves. How we go bankrupt? Honestly, that's my boy.
Preach.
What statue, Teddy?
Listen, cancel culture had an idea and they fucked it so hard.
Hi. I understand some of the books that Dr. Seuss wrote are awful. But the Seuss Foundation removed them from print and people are like, "Oh, the places you go," and Green Eggs and Ham and all these other books, they're also trash because of the person who wrote them. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, the places you go, I still can't read that book without crying.
See, I have no issue with people like my big. Here's my one political rant of the day, right? I have no issue with people being liberal, progressive, whatever. But if you start restricting people's voice, what they can read, you're sounding a lot like these guys instead of what you're trying to do, which is enhance people's rights. I am pro personal rights, but I'm also so there is a quote. Unfortunately, it is by that wacko Alex Jones, but he's right about one quote. All the dictators in the world took away the guns, they took away books, and they took away this and that. And once you do that, you try to restrict people's information, you restrict people's right to defend themselves against a tyrannical government, and you also restrict their way of what they learn. Mm-hmm. The way to change people's minds is through diplomacy and through talking and through conversation. This is what our modern generation does not understand.
You want to know the quickest way to get somebody to read a book? Ban it.
Oh, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to read this book. Hold on. Let me just.
Look what happened when
they banned alcohol. And literally, I bought like 2 books that were banned in like certain things.
I bought a book and it was my coaster. I never even wrote it or I read it. Just my my alcohol.
Just coaster. Bought it to.
All right, we got about 15 minutes left in the show, so I think it's time everyone gets a 5-minute episode. 5 minute for.
Before we go to that, real quick, I'll make it real quick. I just saw. I don't know if you're familiar with him yet, but Pittsburgh Pirates rookie phenom O'Neal Cruz.
What, he break another speed record today?
111-mile-an-hour home run.
Jesus Christ, that's like insane. Was
Dude,
it a
6 foot fucking 7 shortstop, 111-mile-an-hour home run, and
he runs at a speed as fast as Tyreek Hill.
And they said when he had a grounder to short and he threw it to first, he threw it at 98 miles an hour.
This kid's a freak. This is what we all thought Yasiel Puig was going to be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not putting it on my lap today because we have a clear view of it, obviously. It's time for the corner booth dartboard. So Matt told me he has an amazing one to put on the dartboard this week.
I think it's fun.
Right.
You'll know who it is once I give you the hint, but this is a guy who is a very this is baseball, first of all. Interesting, weird guy that I don't understand. I try to understand, but I don't get him. He can't handle big cities, so he tries to go to small markets. What, are you already going to guess?
Is that Granky?
Yeah. I was about to say. So he's an interesting guy. He couldn't do LA. He went to Arizona. He went to Houston.
I have a story about him, by the way.
Loves Kansas City because it's just a small market thing. But even when they had the whole pandemic going on, they had no fans. He was loving it. He's like, there's no fans, there's no people, there's no attention. I don't got to talk to anybody. He was like, this is great. I'm like, he's such a weird guy. Lately, why I'm putting him on the board, I guess there was a kid and a guy, and he was trying to get his son to autograph baseball from him. And he looked at the guy, looked at the kid, walked over, grabbed the baseball as if he was going to sign it. And apparently he just chucks it as hard as he could, as far as he could throw it. And the guy just looked at him and he's like, dude, what the hell? Why'd you fucking do that? This is for my kid. And he goes, it was for my own amusement. That was his response. It's for my own amusement.
Piece of shit.
I don't understand.
So I found out. So the day he went to the Diamondbacks in 2016, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to my man Kevin Baxter. Kevin Baxter of the LA Times. I met him in person at Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport. He was covering UCLA women's basketball for the women's tournament. I was working as an intern. I got to talk to him for 20 minutes. He saw me. I had a Diamondbacks logo as my background. He goes, "You're a D-backs fan?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Dodgers reporter." And I'm like, "Hey, listen, I hate your team, but I respect you as a writer because you got to deal with LA markets." And he goes, "You got Greinke?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I got a story about you." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Zach Greinke is the weirdest motherfucker you're ever going to meet." I'm like,
"Yeah."
And this is like gray hair telling me this. I'm like, "What's up?" And he goes, "This man will not talk to reporters until his start's over. He will not talk to you days 1 through 4. Once he's done pitching, you have that day, and then he is a ghost." He also does things a certain way. I think Zach Greinke is serious OCD. Like, he needs to have things a certain way. And so my biggest problem, the Diamondbacks, when they got rid of him, the clubhouse, a lot more everyone didn't have a stick up their ass. because Greinke was like, being Greinke. Like the thing is with him is like, I remember watching him when he was young with the Royals, right? I have his rookie card. I think I probably sell it for a couple $100 right now. I'm gonna say I gotta use that app that Brian Urlacher is trying to push right now, the Ludix or whatever it's called, where you can like literally like sell like cards or like get the value or whatever. I'm really trying to like get that money, but like my first experience with Zach Greinke was what this LA reporter who had to deal with him with the Dodgers for the past 2 or 3 years saying like, this dude's nuts.
Yeah.
Good luck in Arizona.
And then you got him. You're like, fuck.
Well, it's like, you know what? He pitched. He was terrible in 2016 for us.
Mm-hmm. He's horrible.
But 2017, he was a Cy Young candidate. Him and Robbie Ray were the best 1-2 punch in the NL West.
Yeah.
Until the Dodgers went and got Yu Darvish and we were screwed. But it's crazy. Yeah, but listen, fuck Zach Greinke for that response. Listen, fans are literally 80% of what makes baseball amazing. So.
Well, it's, if you look at the picture of it, like if you just look at his face, you can just tell by looking at his expression, like he's gonna do something. If you just look and zoom in on his face, you can just be like, if I saw that face, I would not give him that baseball because I knew he was gonna do some weird shit.
I gotta also give a shout out to former Yankee Garrett Jones. This dude signed the ball for me, and also signed his batting glove. I still have him in my room.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, this was back when he was on the New Britain Rockets.
Do you see who's on the Pawtucket Sox? I think it was right now. It's the son of Gary Sheffield, Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz.
Oh no, it's not the Pawtucket Sox. It's the AAU college team that plays out of Mass.
They're the Rocks.
It's the entire. It's Kevin Falk's son is a pitcher.
Yeah.
Gary Sheffield, Pedro
Martinez. Yeah. Manny Ramirez.
And Big Papi and Gary Sheffield. That's and all their sons are like top ranked prospects. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm so surprised that they are all top ranked prospects. I am.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, Beth, like we have it's like Craig Biggio's son plays in the pros right now. He's dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad was one of the best contact. His dad was one of the best contact hitters I'd ever seen.
Yeah, he's dog shit. And Bo Bichette's a fucking all-star.
Bo Bichette's a fucking G. Also, Bo Bichette's hair is beautiful.
Do you see the Blue Jays have 4 people in the lead for the American League roster for the All-Star game? Alejandro Kirk, Vlad Jr., Bo Bichette,
I'm also doing a push. I am pushing for Christian Walker for reserves for first base for the NL All-Star game. My man is on pace at 51 home runs or 48, and this dude was heralded as a career minor leaguer. It was Paul Goldschmidt's replacement. Christian Walker for All-Star. This dude's got 19 or 20 jacks, and it's not even the All-Star break yet. And this man has basically just reinvented his swing and just hitting the daylights out of the ball.
Judge has 29 home runs. We're not even halfway through.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. It's like, but everyone's like, oh, like most home runs through X amount of games or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but like I was looking at the list and I'm like, I remember those seasons there because I loved A-Rod. A-Rod was one of my favorite players growing up. Him and Randy Johnson, Justin Upton. I love Sheffield and I love Chipper Jones. With A-Rod, I remember A-Rod was the only reason I rooted for the Yankees when I was a kid because I just loved A-Rod. I didn't really like the Yankees were cool to me. The second they fucked him over, I was like, yo, fuck New York. But like A-Rod was my dog, and so because I played third base and I had a similar swing to his, so like I played third, so I really liked his game. But with A-Rod, I remember in August. The thing is, August. It's the guys who get hot in August hitting home runs. Those are the ones who end up leading the damn thing. Because when you get hot in August, in the worst months of the year, you stay hot because you're hitting the best pitching. I remember it was Derek Lee back in 2008. Matt had like 20 home runs by the All-Star break. Everyone thought he was going to break the Triple Crown, and he finished with 31 home runs. He was 10th in batting average and like 10th in RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm worried. Like Judge, I feel like is strong enough where he can still finish in the top 5 in each, but I don't know. All right, Beth, who are you putting on the dartboard?
So this gentleman has coached at many levels and won many things and should really know better. And nothing made me happier than to see his team lose in the Stanley Cup final. John Cooper, welcome to the dartboard. You wasted so much time in every game. Like, I'm shocked that he wasn't called for a bench minor for delay a game for some of the things that he was just sitting there trying to get right. And today, the final thing that made me happy about that whole situation is when Nazem Kadri was rocking a burgundy shirt that he made with him on there, and it said "Too many men," and that was the perfect icing.
That was one of the penalties that Tampa got called for. Is hysterical.
What's funny is John Cooper was bitching about there being too many men on the ice for that goal. He had 7 men on the ice.
What cracks me up is hockey's a lot easier to keep organized with line changes. Football is crazy because you have 16 guys running off the field every time.
Okay, so but in hockey, you change on the fly. And
yeah, I know, but
you're not always out there with your line. So it can get very confusing because you skate with the same 2 or 3 guys, depending on if you're a defense or forward.
My point was really that, like, with hockey, you have – oh, wait, we didn't even do the banners. Fuck, I'm fucking up today. But I'm off my shit today, I swear. But what I'm referring to is that, like, at least for hockey, it's only 7 guys. And usually one guy comes on. What?
There's 5 skaters and a goalie.
Yeah, 6
is normal. So 6. Most people don't count the goalie because, he plays a full 60 minutes. There's not a lot of time that goalies are on the bench unless it's a delayed penalty or they're pulling in to try and pot a goal.
I miss you, MA.
Oh, I love Flower. Look, the 5 months that he was a Blackhawk were the greatest 5 months of my life.
Dog, and when we kicked him from Mark Murray, I'm like, oh, we're fucked. We sold ourselves for one more title.
I love Flower.
Mark Murray's a piece of shit.
Matt Murray looks like he has aged 47 years since he went to Ottawa. Somebody posted a picture of it at a presser one day, and I was like, can someone please go check on Matt Murray? And we need a wellness check. This man has aged 37 years.
Well, when Sidney Crosby goes behind Sidney and Yenny go behind closed doors and bitch you out for sucking, that kind of happens.
Yeah, but no, this is post Pittsburgh. Like in Pittsburgh, he at least looked his appropriate age.
Death threats after he left.
But in Ottawa, he looks 70. Like the man
titles in the last 10 years.
Yeah, but John
Cooper 2 loaded teams in the last 10 years. They were both should have won titles. And they didn't because Mark Murray's goaltending was dog shit.
Matt.
Oh, fuck him. Who cares? I don't get your name right. It does not matter because he's dog shit.
It does matter because he's still a person, even if he's dog shit.
Barely.
He's still a human being.
I do like your dartboard. I was going to put Kyrie as my dartboard because this man literally single-handedly sets back the nets about 10 years. My dartboard.
But is that Kyrie's fault or is that the front office's fault?
Yeah, both. My dartboard today is UCLA and USC. Why the fuck are you going to the Big Ten? It doesn't make any sense geologically. Congratulations, jet fuel is I think it's like $90 a gallon at this point. I don't fucking know. With President Dementia as our freaking leader in chief, and all I know is right now this dartboard is Lincoln Riley and whoever the dipshit. Oh, I think it's Chip Kelly, right? Oh, even better. Fuck Chip Kelly. That midget. I hate Chip Kelly. That man set my Eagles back 5 years as a franchise. He traded away 3 of my favorite players of all time. Here's Asante Samuel, Deshaun Jackson. He cut Deshaun Jackson. He let go of my what's his face? Oh, actually no. Andy Reid traded Asante Samuel. He got rid of Michael Vick. Now fuck you, Chip Kelly. Andy Reid is the only reason the Eagles were able to win a Super Bowl, get the right roots for a Super Bowl, because he told them to hire Doug Peterson. Anyway, why are you going to the Big Ten? I understand that the Big 12 is turning into what the AAC used to be, but the Pac-12 is a good conference. You have Oregon, you have Utah. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't win in those conferences. You're going to go to the Big Ten and get slaughtered even worse? I got news for you, Sunshine. You think Utah's defense is brutal? Wait until you fucking face Iowa in a cold, snowy day in Ames. Or you go to the shoe and you have to play fucking Ohio State, who has 6 pro prospects on their defense. Holy shit. Or Northwestern. Shout out to my boy Grayson. What up, kid? Hope you're doing good in Texas. Grayson was like a big deal in his high school. And he was a special teams guy at Northwestern. That's how fucking good their defense is. He was a linebacker. I love my boy Grayson. Shout out. And also, that's not even half the teams. You talk freaking Penn State and freaking Michigan And you guys want to go to that division? I understand if you want to go play in the ACC, because at least that position is more of a passing league. Actually, wait, no, the AAC is kind of brutal. You have Miami and Clemson who look for headshots. But why? Why are you going to leave the passing league you call a Pac-12? There's no point. You have it in May. You have all these great players. Dominate the Pac-12. But now you're going to be a dipshit and go. It's worse than Texas. At least with Texas, it made sense because with Texas, okay, you're in the South. You get to play these big conferences. You have big guys like Quinn Ewers and Archie Manning coming in. Great. That makes sense. I'm trying to understand the logic behind this. I saw the headline. Kevin texted it to me. Shout out to my boy Kev. Tailgate in the quad, returning in July. Here's the thing. I do not get why they're going. It makes no money. Okay, money maybe initially makes sense because the Big 12 is a great conference. You're not going to get Big 12 recruits. South Florida is dominated by Florida, Alabama, and Miami, and some Florida State guys. The South is basically dominated by 6 teams. You have two ACC and about 4 SEC teams. The Midwest is dominated by the Big 12 and the Big 10. And the AAC even gets good recruits on the East Coast. Where are you going to pull your guys from? You're going to recruit guys from the West Coast to go play in the Big 10? No. They're either going to go to the South, they're either go to the North, the Big 10 itself, like go play like Michigan. You're now the 6th best team in your conference. Congratulations. UCLA, you're now the 12th best team in your conference. You guys are fucking stupid. Holy shit. Listen, I get certain college football limits. Like if Miami went to the SEC tomorrow, I'd be like, fuck, we're screwed for 2 years. But it's like, I get it because we're technically the most like big Power 5 school. So if anybody belongs in the Southeastern Conference, it's Miami because they're the most southeast of any Big 10, big Power 5 school. But I don't count USF because they're 5 miles south of Miami, I think, or whatever. Anyway, they're an AAC school for life. But I'm trying to understand the logic here. It's you literally have this great opportunity to finally win the Big 12. What was the last time USC won the Pac-12, Matt? We were in elementary school, right? This had to be like it was John David Booty. That was the last time they won it.
Last time they won it, I was still spelling my name incorrectly as a kid. So it's been a long time.
I don't even want you to admit that on a podcast.
I have questions now.
Okay. I have answers.
I was convinced for a very long time, not a very long time, maybe from like preschool to like 1st grade, my name was spelt with 1 T and the H was before the T.
Okay.
I was convinced to prove everybody wrong.
I mean,
and that didn't work.
Sound-wise, it's not terrible.
Hey,
No.
You know what? I grew up, I got a degree, and now I'm in a job that doesn't use that degree and is in an engineering field.
Same.
Nothing near that.
Because college is a fucking scam.
Now I'm in an engineering job and I have a sports management degree.
Hello. I mean,
I'm
look,
in a sales job. And
99% of the time, they don't care what the degree is.
Yeah,
just
as long
that
as you
have
don't, just don't take the Metro North.
The best advice, my cousin, who's a PhD in chemistry, she says to me, he goes, take your fucking GPA off your resume. Like, why? She goes, no, because you had a 2.7, it's a party school like Southern. I'm like, great. Thanks, Ange.
Dude, I thought everybody had a 3.0 and I really had like a 2.6 or 5.
Also, they're not going to like call and ask for your transcript.
Yeah.
You could
Well, they
lie
do. Fuck
through
that
your
job.
ass.
Literally, I sold myself on that job because I literally showed up with a notepad and a golf shirt and jeans. I looked professional, and I was very cordial, and I asked questions, and I commanded the space in the interview. It's literally what I do on this microphone every day. I run the show, so fuck yeah, I can do that in a fucking interview with a bunch of people who don't know how I operate.
Did you actually write anything down?
No. I didn't even
Did you scribble on the pad so it looked
didn't
like
even open the fucking pad.
Oh my God.
Damn.
So it was display.
Power move.
There. I'm
Unlike
here to
me,
take
who
notes,
has
but I
no-
don't need it.
Yeah, so
All
my
up here.
dartboard this week is those 2 dipshit schools in Los Angeles. Not only do I want to jackhammer your entire city off into the center of the ocean, go join China, but that in San Francisco, because that beautiful city is getting turned into a fucking third world country. I have friends who have moved out of San Francisco because they refuse to deal with the shit anymore. California is just a shithole once you get outside. Once you get inside the cities, If you just jackhammered away Los Angeles County and the Bay Area and leave Sacramento and San Diego as the two main cities, and you just let those two float out into the ocean, hopefully they don't hit Hawaii. Hawaii is beautiful.
Don't need to jackhammer it. An earthquake will probably take care of that for you.
Yeah, but that's the whole San Andreas fault, which would take out like half of like the valley, which is honestly gorgeous.
I mean,
oh no, I like literally to me, California is just such a. Everyone's like, oh, like the Roman Empire fell. I'm like, no, the Empire of Los Angeles is falling and so is Chicago. The reason why America works as a country is because we're half redneck in woods and half city people. The cities are falling because of bad leadership. The countries are flourishing because communities, man. Like, are you kidding me? My hometown when I was a kid had one food store, had one or two shopping centers. Now we have a movie theater. We just got all this crazy shit. My town has become actually a pretty big epicenter. We have I think the third biggest like GDP for our area. I'm like, damn, man, my town's actually looking pretty good right now, even though I'm moving out of it in 3 months, but whatever.
I was born in California. That's awful because it took 2.5 years for me to get a copy of my birth certificate.
Yeah, no, in Connecticut, the hardest thing for me to get in Connecticut is a gun permit, and that even is only 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, it took 2.5 years to get a copy of my birth certificate.
Wow.
I can get a new
that is how deep the backlog is. Oh, Social Security card was easy.
Oh, my mother lost mine when I was 15.
Yeah, you can go to any Social Security Administration office and get a copy of your Social Security card.
Oh, yeah, no. My birth certificate, I called the doctor's office. They had it in a day because I need an official copy of it for my job at New York Life. Yeah. We have to know who you are. I'm like, I mean, I've been through 5 interviews. I've gone through a training program, but okay.
Yeah. But yeah, 2.5 years because that's how backlogged it is. That's
insane.
Yeah.
Well, folks,
and then it showed up, and I was like, "What is this?" And I opened it. I was like, "It's finally here. This is beautiful."
Yeah, the frustration is gone. You finally get what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Well, folks, it is officially over 8 o'clock. Shout out to the people who stay with us the longest time. Nobody commented there, but it's okay because we had a good conversation. Shout out to Beth Let's Talk Woo Hockey. Joining me and Matt today. Me and Matt, of course, will be back on Tuesday. We're actually bringing back normal quarter booths. We were just doing 7 o'clock recordings now, honestly, because the only reason I did 6:30 is because a person will not be named needs to be out by 7. I mean, need to be out by 7:45, 8 o'clock. But Matt's a soon-to-be married man. By the way, engagement shoot looked good, buddy.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Well, and I mean, there was that show that used to be on at 8 o'clock. All the time.
Well, our show isn't live at 8, so our show isn't live on Tuesdays. We only do it live on YouTube occasionally. Okay. So it's just more or less for their schedules. For me, honestly, I would love recording it later because honestly, it takes me 30 seconds to edit an episode, and then after that, honestly, I'm good. And Matt, by the way, how is your stepdad? I wanted to ask about that before because I know he had the old COVID.
No, they had the COVID and everything. They're all good though. He had it for 5 days. My mom got it, but everybody's fine now. They're just yeah, everybody's fine. They just got that.
Stand with me.
Oh yeah, no, I was with her for 3 weeks. Now I'm finally just moving everything back into the area, but it's but they're good. They just got that post-COVID stuffiness, but they're all healthy.
Yeah, my dad had it post. He got it 3 weeks pre-Christmas, and he had it up until about mid-January.
Wow.
But my old man, he's an ox, man. But they knocked him through a loop.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then it's not going to keep him down. It's just going to
that OG strain ain't nothing to fuck with. But the rest of them, I remember how everyone freaked out about Omicron, and I'm like, y'all realize this is basically just sniffles at this point. They're really stretching it.
Yeah.
A strain. Listen, the whole point of a mutation is it gets weaker. I had that explained to me by an actual doctor who I went to high school with, and he's like, and he goes, you realize mutation means it gets weaker. I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, you make it sound so terrifying in the news. Oh, wait, the news makes you want to be afraid. Anyway.
The news makes everything terrifying. It's what they do these days.
Oh, yes. Shout out to our 2 great sponsors. One, I don't have a tin in front of me because mine ain't coming until
Tuesday. I got you.
There we go. These 2 got me. All right, Canada Dips, promo code Belly for 20% off. I just got 7 tins for $48. I sent the snap to Matt. I was like, dude, I would clean it up. I want to try the blue dream. I also any of these ones that actually apparently supposed to smell like or taste like the weed strain they're supposed to be based off of. I love that, but the problem is I gotta chew these at work, so it's like I'm not trying to have those at work. My peach one though, that literally brings me back to my Copenhagen peach days, so that makes me happy. But also, yeah, listen, I'm a dip guy. I used to be all my like a lot that and cigars and just vaping. I was a nicotine fiend. This stuff is the best stuff I've had ever, and I am hooked on it. And honestly, it's made, and I don't even chew gum anymore. I just throw 2 of these past in my mouth. I'm good for 6 hours. But yeah, promo code Belly 20% off. Matt and me are actually going to work on reaching out to Candy Dips and actually getting our own promo code, which would be lit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice.
Affiliate deal because we're small potatoes compared to TSS, but we're going to try anyway.
Yeah,
we're making our comeback. This is this comeback season for the corner booth.
I believe in you.
Thanks, Beth. Appreciate it. All right, and of course, shout out to our OG sponsor. These amazing people, eatsofficial.com, out of South Florida. 10% off corner booth promo code. I literally just bought a pair for a friend of mine, or I gave my friend a promo code the other day. Listen, they have like 1,000 styles at this point, and they're Streets edition, which is like they're more like not flamboyant and more like business ready kind of editions. They're great, and honestly, you know what? It's just good. Sunglasses, polarized, and they just take a beating. It's our intro for every Tuesday show. You know how it is. But listen, we love y'all. Thank you for coming by. Shout out to our sponsors. He's official sponsor of the Corner Booth Dartboard and Candy Dips CBD, official sponsor of Belly Sports and the Corner Booth Podcast. Thank you, Beth, at Wonder Beffers, and also at her podcast, Let's Talk Woo Hockey. Me and Big Wispy over here, we'll be back on Tuesday talking everything sports. I still have to do my collaboration show with McCarthy about talking Letterkenny, which is going to be an epic episode.
If I am not there, I will be very mad.
Okay, you know what? Take it up with McCarthy because he never hit me up about this, and I'm a little butthurt about it.
If I am not there, I will be very mad.
Beth, just DM him, and I'll be there too. Now I don't have to. Oh, by the way, thank you for those who actually tuned into our craft beer show, which was hysterical. Shout out to our boys over at Scoreboard Addicts, Rook and TJ, and my man over and the Lang brothers over at What's in the Pint. They were great too, and of course the McCarthy signal himself, Mr. McCarthy. By the way, for those you don't know, when I can't find a guest and I need somebody fast to fill in, because unfortunately Scott was supposed to be our guest tonight, Scott Kaiser of Craft Brew. Scotty's a good friend of mine, and basically his mother had to get emergency surgery. So shout out to Mama Kay. Hopefully she's doing okay. Emergency surgery on her wrist. So Scott couldn't make it. And of course Mookie for fucking dying of alcohol when he's supposed to come on. He was drunk when he texted me at 5:30, which means I'm like, he ain't
Jeez.
Or 4:30. He was done. I'm like, okay. So either way, we love you at Craft Brew Sports. Shout out to our boy Mike Berline for hosting that 3-ring circus. And also, look at the good boy.
That's good girl. That's Ella.
Good girl. I would bring Ghost out here, but I feel like he's too strong. He'd get on my arm and start chasing squirrels around my yard. But also, shout out to all our sponsors. It gets dark. I got to eat some food, man. I haven't eaten since the morning. I've had like 4 beers. All right. We appreciate y'all coming by. It's like 8. Holy shit, we're 8:15. I got to go throw laundry in, apparently. So catch y'all later. I'm going to the Poconos. Hope you have a great weekend. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. Shout out to the founding fathers for getting this great country off the ground. Let's do this. Appreciate ya. Peace.